Okie dokie. Sheep and the goats, right and the left. And today it seems like everybody's gathering up on one side or the other, right or the left. And how you can tell which side you're on is if you're not doing those things which are required of you as a servant, then you're not on.
You're not for real.
I'm not talking about this. I'm not talking about just giving money. That's what I'm not. I'm talking about being a servant unto the Lord. And Jesus just got done telling the parable here in Matthew 25 about the parable of the talents, and this is what he said. He says, "For unto everyone that hath shall be given, and to him, and he shall have abundance. But from him that hath not shall be taken away that even which he hath. And cast ye the unprofitable servant into outer darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth." Unprofitable is the key word there in that statement. Meaning that you have an investment. You did something with what God gave you to gain on that which you had. Okay. Now God gives to you a portion of faith, but He expects you to grow that and to become more with that. And the separation will be to the ones on the left. He will say, "Depart from me," and the ones on the right, He's going to say, "Enter ye in to the joys of the Lord." And we find that starting at verse 31 in Matthew 25.
Let me see.
And we always wondered, you know, that's sort of a, it's, the Lord was telling a parable here on how Judgment Day is going to go. I think sometimes He's going to judge in masses, maybe, you know, because it says the ones on the left He's going to say, "Depart from me," and the ones on the right. Or maybe He's going to separate them into a category, going to put them on the one on the left, one on the right. It's kind of that ideal of thing anyway. And you know, I don't think anybody knows exactly how these things are going to be done until we get there. But I don't think it's going to surprise anyone about how Judgment Day is going to go. Okay, as far as that goes. And anyways, verse 31 says, "When the Son of Man," this is Jesus still talking, "when the Son of Man shall come in His glory," and He was talking of Himself here, "and all the holy angels with Him, then shall He sit upon the throne of His glory." Okay, this is when, you know, I watched the movie last night, and I knew somehow this movie was going to get into my sermon one way or another. And I'm really tired, so I'm not going to give you a lot of detail. I'm not even going to say the name of the movie, but I'll tell you what happened in the movie. Was this man, he came down as one who, okay, scientists are starting to lean toward a theory that somebody dropped us off. Well, this is the basis of this movie. That aliens dropped us off onto the earth, and we sort of evolved from there billions of years ago. Okay, and so this alien came back, and he began to claim that which it was sort of like the angels that God sent down to Sodom and Gomorrah, you know. I mean, they had no power against this guy. Everything they tried. They captured him and took him to a place, and it was up to people to convince this angel-like character that the earth was and the people on it were worth saving, you know. And it was going to be like another Noah's flood type of thing. I mean, he was going to take everything off, destroy the world. I mean, this warrior type robot thing, he came into 1,000 bits and pieces, and it was this little bitty like termite that just ate everything. And as it ate, it grew and doubled. Every time it ate, it grew and doubled. And
Let me see.
And yeah, you can tell I love science fiction. Okay, and so, and it was wiping everything out, man. It was continuously wiping everything out. And meanwhile, while it was beginning to grow and get bigger and bigger, and wiping things out, it came up on the back of the semi truck and just ate it from behind. You just see, just this truck just fell apart and went into like a dust. And when this lady that was trying to convince him that Earth was worth saving, you know, and that's kind of the thing that Christ is doing here. He's separating that which is good and which is evil, which is, you know, even though he could see that we're not perfect, that there should be something within us that is able to be saved. So something good, a seed that God has planted that would grow. And at the end, yes, they made it. At the end of the movie, they made it. So, and but I got that movie right there. What's that? Chase, hand me that movie on top right there.
Where?
I want to see what the name over there. The one under it. Yeah, the day the earth stood still. Is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it. Okay. Anyway. And so Jesus, you know, and unlike the movie, now God has picked a day for this earth to end. And at judgment time, this is the things that's going to happen. Okay? And these are the things He's going to say, and the things that's going to take place on it. And He said, verse 32, and before Him shall be gathered all nations, and He shall separate them one from another. So I was right about that. He says, you go here and you go here, and He's going to separate one at a time. He's going to separate them. Put you over left, you on the right, you on the left, you on down like that. And one on the left and one on the right, separate them one from another. And as a shepherd divideth his sheep from the goats. And he shall set the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on the left. Then shall the king say unto them on his right hand, come, ye blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. This is how the devil got his depiction as a goat, okay, from this chapter right here in Matthew. And it says, for I was hungered and you fed and you gave me meat. I was thirsty and you gave me drink. I was a stranger and you took me in. Naked and you clothed me. I was sick and you visited me. I was in prison and you came to me. Then shall the righteous answer him, saying, Lord, when we saw thee hungered and fed thee, or thirsty and gave thee drink, or when saw thee a stranger and we took thee in, or naked and clothed thee? Or when saw we thee sick and in prison and came to thee? And the king shall answer and say unto them, verily I say unto you, insomuch as ye have done it unto one of the least of these my brethren, ye have done it unto me. And of course the opposite for the goats and the sheep, or the goats, that they did it not. And at the end He's going to say, depart from me, for I never knew you. Down there about verse 45, then shall He answer them, saying, I say unto you, as much as ye did it not to one of the least of these, ye did it not to me. And these shall go away into everlasting punishment, and the righteous unto eternal life. Now listen to what He said. Everlasting punishment. This is not a misspelled characterization of the word. It's not. This is exactly the way that it is. This is why I love the King James. Everlasting punishment means punishment never stops. Okay? And this is what it's meant in the Bible when it says the separation of the sheep from the goats. Which one are you today? Are you sheep today? Are you a goat? Are you selfish? Are you greedy to the bone? Are you in dire need of finding somebody to take your vengeance out on today? You're a goat, and you will go into everlasting punishment. But if you love to give, if you love to seek out righteousness, and if you're a peacemaker, if you love bringing people together, then you're a sheep, and you will enter into the joys of the Lord. Alrighty, God bless. Thank you for joining me. We'll see you again next time. Another great message right here on Crossing the Middle Ministry.